And then a year later, I finally get the guts to come back home so I can help my sister. She got me a job working $18 an hour. I was going to be helping her pay our rent because we have a very cheap rent deal happening right now to help us out. And I was going to help her pay rent. And we were going to just be okay. We were going to be safe in our own place. We were going to be okay. But my mother couldn't let that sit. My mom tells me and my sister, she tells us to make sure that we're at the house by 5:30 to pray with them. Right? Now, quick thing about this prayer. We used to be Christian. We are no longer Christian. I was Christian all my life until around the age of 12 years old when I tried to kill myself. And everyone took their Christian beliefs and told me that I was going to go to hell if I had succeeded. They didn't even try to listen to what I was going through. They immediately went into telling me that I was going to suffer for trying to get away from my suffering. I was only 12 years old. You can imagine how that caused that little 12-year-old me to be like, I don't, but I digress. Like I said, I personally have not really connected with Christianity since I was 12 years old, but the rest of my family still was heavily Christian, even though I was not. I was not allowed to talk about how I wasn't Christian. I would get in trouble if I didn't want to go to church. And if I didn't, and the crazy part is my mom didn't even want to go to church, but she would force me to go for my siblings so that they could get food from the church because the church was giving us food and she didn't have to work to buy us food and pay her rent because we were also in a based on income projects. She keeps trying to spin this story like she's just done all she can. But there have been so many times in the little things that matter where she's done things like this over and over and over again. Matter of fact, the second time that I tried to kill myself when I was 15 years old, and my grandmother, okay, this was a whole separate time from the first time I tried to kill myself. My grandmother told me, because she had to come and pick me up from my house and drive me across state lines because I didn't want to be at home anymore, because I kept telling them that I didn't want to be there anymore. I was going to kill myself, and I had already tried, and they had to stop me. And her first response with that was to tell me how her sister tried to kill herself, so I would have made her sad by bringing that memory up, and how I would have gone to hell had I succeeded, and how she knew that a little girl was in trouble, but that God told her not to go save her, and that girl killed herself, and she's saying that girl is still going to go to hell anyways. That girl was 15 years old, and her dad was running a sex train on her and having men paid to rape her. You can imagine how that made me stray away from Christianity.